Evening, federal officials are investigating why a Southwest jet flying into Tampa International Airport this month flew as low as 150 feet over the water while it was still about 5 miles from the airport.
And this comes on the heels of a similar incident that happened last month in Oklahoma City with another Southwest flight. Tonight, 10 Tampa Bay's Hannah Deneen spoke with an aviation expert to get insight into what might have happened.
According to flight path data, Southwest passengers traveling from Columbus, Ohio to TPA on July 14th would have felt the plane take a sharper than normal plunge as they prepared to land. Then abruptly, they were pulled back up into the sky, diverted 200 miles away to Fort Lauderdale.
But it would have been a steep angle to get down in the first place. It would have been noisier.
Flying 150 feet over water when they should have been closer to 1,500 feet.
One of the things that does concern me about this particular incident is how late the recognition actually came from the pilots in the cockpit before they understood that they were not where they were supposed to be.
Veteran pilot Mark Winekrantz has landed planes at TPA countless times.
It looks like they were flying as best they could to get to the airport before the weather actually arrived at the airport.
He says beyond the bad weather, it appears the pilots would have been preoccupied with programming the plane for a runway that requires a quicker approach.
All these variables that are plugged in for the pilots, and now they're not accustomed to making a rapid descent to try and capture the glide slope information for runway 10.
A cocktail of obstacles in the cockpit, perhaps including, he speculates, a mix-up between the Courtney Campbell Causeway and the runway.
When you see lights, you might see what you want to see instead of what's actually there.
But are there any systemic issues with Southwest protocol and the way that pilots are trained? The FAA will now be taking a close look at this situation as well as the similar one in Oklahoma City to determine exactly what happened and whether there are any patterns. In Tampa, Hannah Deneen, 10 Tampa Bay.
And Southwest said in a statement that it is in contact with the FAA to understand and address any irregularities.
Still some